NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
From the 6. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Quickly to the air is Burrow.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
Well, these two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year, with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
This defense for the Steelers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Now it's Burrow. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know the funny things sometimes happen.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello to Big Way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. Shoves him aside. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Burrow. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield or man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some room to run now. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Once again, they run with Mixon. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Evan McPherson out for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. McPherson's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Pickett.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot.
Now Burrow loses the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now it's Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now, the Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Got him. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case, wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. He finds his man Johnson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Pickett. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. 50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Now here's another carry for Harris.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further.
No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trying with Pickett here on 3rd down.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Kenny Pickett
with his 16th touchdown of the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Boswell good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. First down. Here's Burrow.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett.
Steps away to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
He'll get this complete to Calvin Austin.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Can't get away, and he's taken down. That's Cameron Hayward who got in there to take him down.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Harris on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
Pickett back to throw.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Alex Highsmith just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Austin. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bengals drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Mixing up the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Alex Highsmith, his 2nd sack of the night.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. If they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Now Burrow. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll start the drive with Harris. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They were just trying to get their offense a little more room down near their own goal line, but this is just going to make things worse.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Pickett. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Hayward able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Burrow. And this one is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Burrow going for it on 4th. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
1st down, Bengals.
And Burrow going to throw again. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And they will take a knee here. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Steelers, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories.